Alright, brother, hold up. It's the man of knowledge coming at your way. Check it in. Check it out. Peace. So this is a Forensic Files episode. And it's gonna show you about this episode of Forensic Files. It's gonna be showing you about the feminist acts. Well, not the feminist acts. I'll just say how batshit crazy some of these females out here can be. And how much corruption amongst each other they can cause. Alright? Check it out. By the way, I've been watching Forensic Files since 2009, 10, 11, 12. Somewhere around that area. Fuck it. Let's continue.
For more than a year, angry, hateful letters were sent to a first-grade school teacher in a small mountain village in Pennsylvania. Many were sexual in nature. Some threatened violence. When scientists analyzed the letters, they found evidence that the stalker knew a lot about the victim, more than anyone could possibly imagine.
Well, they work in the same workforce. I'm pretty much sure she would. You know these females talk, man. You know how they always like to talk about, oh, I got this, I got that, or yeah, I shopped out here, I shopped out there, and yeah, I seen him the other day, or I remember her. You know how these bitches do, man. But anyway.
In 1993, some hate mail began to arrive at the Coolball Learning Center, a public elementary school in the Pocono Mountains in eastern Pennsylvania. The letters were unsigned and sent to the principal, making serious allegations against a first-grade reading teacher, Joanne Chambers. She had been teaching in the school district for the past 8 years.
Chambers brought a pot into school and then showed it in the faculty room just like it was a big joke.
I thought it was just somebody, a disgruntled employee. I just wanted to know who it was, and I thought it was a thing that you could, sit down with that person and talk it out and fix it.
Soon.
Well, I'm gonna just go ahead and say this as a sister, even though you're not a sister. Anyway, though, you can't fix shit with someone who hates you, okay? Cause they don't care they don't care when you try to talk or explain. They hate your guts. They envy you. So why the hell would you want to even be trying to fix something or solve something with someone who hates you for no legitimate reason or who may be jealous of you? You can't change that. For the most part, I think it's safe to say they don't want it to be changed. All right? You got them haters, man. And this broad here, while she looking batshit crazy, I think it's safe to say whoever that person was talking about she was on drugs may be true. But for the most part, whoever wrote that allegation, pretty much more than likely, she was talking about her damn self. Let's continue.
Letters were sent to Joanne Chambers herself at both home and at school.
I can get you in one try. No one will ever prove it. They may not think so, but I'm smarter than all of you. You stupid bitch.
Damn. That's a harsh ass hate speech. Let me tell you something. Most of these people, man, who giving out hate speeches, you know one thing I realized about these people who giving out hate speeches? They the fucking biggest cows and sissies of them all, man. They just talk shit.
Joanne Chambers was
I never even got the point of a hate speech, really, man. I mean, if you ain't gonna do shit, just keep your fucking mouth closed, alright? Same goes for any of you brothers out there, man, who may just be hating on somebody, running your damn mouth. If you ain't gonna do nothing, shut the hell up. Alright? Anyway.
popular with students and was an unlikely target of a hate campaign. She was married with a 10-year-old son
Allegedly.
and had no
That's a big allegedly.
I can speak with assurance about Joanne's teaching abilities. She's highly recommended by other teachers in the district. She was also highly respected by parents. She was an outstanding teacher. All our recommendations show that.
It appeared that someone had a grudge against her.
Look in Chambers' desk. She seems to like Jack Daniels.
Chambers found the whiskey bottle in her desk drawer and said personal items were missing.
There were things missing from my drawers. The picture of my child and myself and my friend and her daughter was taken from my desk.
Well, that's your damn fault. Let me just say this, brothers. For this woman here to be a teacher, I think it's safe to say, regardless of what it may be, if it's some personal items, then you ought to carry the shit to your house. Okay? But anyway.
Police suspected that a fellow teacher or school employee was sending the letters, since they often alluded to activities going on inside the school. One of the letters contained an interesting clue. It was a snide reference to the school superintendent as Colonel Plink, a character in the Hogan's Heroes television series. A teacher in the school was one.
Hey, now, did you hear that? I'm going to tell you something else I done realized about some people. They like playing characters off of TV shows or movies. They like to play or act like people or portray as people that they have seen or characters that they have seen on the TV screen. Or should I say television, aka tell lies to your vision. That's the point of me doing TV videos, because in the near future, not only do I analyze certain circumstances or certain aspects or things of that nature on the TV, I also get down and break down certain things behind the scenes. Okay? But that's neither here or there.
Overheard referring to the superintendent in this way. Her name was Paula Noraki. Like Joanne Chambers, Noraki also taught first grade and had worked in the school district for 18 years.
I was totally surprised. I was positive that it wasn't anybody in the building, that it could be explained in some other way.
Now, hey, while I'm at it, like I said, I've been watching this show since 2009, 2010, 11, 12, and so on. Even still to this day, I've always been watching it. I'm going to say something else about this show, Forensic Files. The original narrator, name is Peter Thomas. He passed in 2015, if I'm not mistaken. Rest in peace to him. I like the way he breaks and analyzes the storylines or the scenarios down in this show. Rest in peace to him. He's the GOAT. Second thing, a lot of these people, man, who be in these interviews, they be the main ones. Now, could I have been basically telling you that she's the one who did it? Possibly. Let's find out.
The letters continued, but soon there were other incidents. The first was something Joanne Chambers found under her desk.
I went to start my lesson with my children and sat down in a chair and had a dress on and put my hand underneath to straighten the dress out, and it was covered with feces. And I couldn't even tell you what I felt like. I felt sick to my stomach. It was like it was not happening. It was like this could not happen.
Just a few days later, a hidden camera captured several teachers entering Joanne Chambers' vacant classroom. One removed Chambers' coffee cup from her desk. It was Paula Noraki. The photograph of Joanne Chambers stolen from her desk.
You know, y'all seen that? What I tell you. But as the show continues, we're gonna go ahead and give her the benefit of the doubt.
Was pasted onto a new picture.
At least for the most part.
Copied and distributed throughout the schoolyard, mailed to parents' homes, and a copy was taped to the door of a local store.
There were phone calls.
This bitch, right? Whoever that bitch that was doing this is literally crazy about her. Probably try to break into a home when they didn't wear a pair of panties.
Parents saying that I was a lesbian, that I had AIDS.
Nah, you ain't had nothing to worry about. I'm pretty sure the person who was doing this low key was the lesbian or had AIDS. But you like you could give somebody a run for their money.
You know, that I shouldn't be teaching their children.
The FBI
All them damn pimples on your face. What happened?
suggested that Joanne Chambers be given a lie detector test to validate her various claims. Paula Noraki also volunteered to take a lie detector test, hoping to clear her name after suspicions arose from the Colonel Flint reference and the coffee cup incident. One of the two failed on the most crucial question of all.
All right, brothers, we're gonna skip the commercials.
Whether they After 10 months of threatening letters, X-rated pictures, and hidden video surveillance, police believe they had a break in the stalking case. Joanne Chambers and Paula Noraki both took lie detector tests about their knowledge of the threatening letters. Each was asked whether they were involved in making or sending any of the harassing letters. One passed, the other failed.
I was told that I failed my polygraph.
Well, let me ask you a question, sweetie. Why did you? Because you the one who fucking did it. That's why. And see, you know, this bitch gave herself away, and I'm gonna tell you how dumb she is. This I already know she did it. Cause see, first, you was caught under surveillance, and then two, you gonna take a lie detector test knowing you did it. And then the lie detector told on your ass. So you through. You done.
Very suspect.
I was very upset.
I don't know why.
I couldn't believe that it was making things worse instead of better.
Noraki said
No, I was making something better. Yeah, it was making something better. Your dumb ass sitting right here up under surveillance. So you mean to tell me that you gonna go take a lie detector test knowing that you was guilty? See, man, let me tell you about these bras that do shit, man, and don't even know what they're doing.
she was videotaped taking Joanne Chambers' coffee cup because Chambers had asked Paula to get it for her.
Yeah, a lie.
Surveillance videotape shows that Joanne Chambers and Paula Noraki were both in the classroom and left together just moments before Paula returned for the coffee cup. Police asked Noraki if they could search her home, and once again she voluntarily complied.
Well, if you voluntarily comply, knowing that you got evidence all over the place that you done did some shit, or you got some evidence or some type of justification that you're guilty of whatnot, that's just your dumb ass fault. Trying to get away with a hate crime. That's your damn fault.
With an old typewriter that we had, they took different kinds of paper and different envelopes.
The analysis of Noraki's typewriter revealed that it was not the one used to type the threatening letters.
That's allegedly.
The paper and envelopes from Naraki's home did not match those used in the threatening letters either. Naraki's reputation as a by-the-book teacher and strict disciplinarian was in sharp contrast to Joanne Chambers' loose and fun-loving classroom style.
The way the police saw it, Paula was jealous of Joanne Chambers' unconventional teaching style and the popularity that she gained from that style. Paul Naraki was more of a by-the-book, conservative teacher who favored traditional teaching methods, whereas Joanne Chambers would show up in the classroom wearing jeans and a Mickey Mouse t-shirt, and she would do things like stage water fights with the school administrators, which the police believe angered Paul Naraki.
But that's exactly what it was. Because these bitches be envious of each other over some dumb shit. Let me tell you something. People take ignorance over intelligence. That's one. Okay? So you getting mad because a teacher's more entertaining than you? I wouldn't give a shit. You ain't there to be entertaining. You there to make your money. Now, if you want to add entertainment to your style, or if you just knew you wasn't funny, oh well. I like people that do shit logical based. Not emotional or entertainment wise based. Sure, a little entertainment here is now and then cool. But if I was a student of your class, I would have definitely preferred you anyway over her. Because like I say, I like people who are more serious than trying to be entertainment. Especially when it comes to me as a teen, when I'm currently still in high school. Yeah. Shit, so what? Hey, you gonna be serious? Be serious. But I'm gonna be honest now. I don't give a damn. Because I'm gonna be in your class just sitting there. But I like people with logic. Okay? Most of them people, they try to be entertainment. It's the reason why they teach little kids. Okay? Just know that. But anyway. Didn't mean to digress. But, well, further with that, let's go.
Letters from parents to parents saying I was molesting their children. I thought my career was gone. I thought I was going to be in jail. I didn't know what was going to happen.
By the fall of 1994, the letters included death threats. For her own protection, Joanne Chambers was transferred to another school.
Hey, listen, brothers, let me just go ahead and say this. This is the thing about haters. People will like what you do, but won't necessarily give it credit won't necessarily give it credit because of the person who did it. Like my videos. I think a lot of people like my videos, a lot of people like my content, but they're not necessarily going to say they like it or give the actual credit to where it's due, especially the ones who know me, because of the person who did it. And it's usually over some small shit. Or because he got this, or he wears that, or he just thinks he's so articulate and smart. And he just thinks he's just intelligent for his age. Or he thinks he's just so wise. I mean, yeah, I do believe those things, but like I said, I'm not cocky with my shit. I mean, I can be. You know, I'm not arrogant. Well, at least yet. Listen, brothers don't believe me, but look, it was a couple months back. I had got a death threat through my email. Okay. In some way, somehow, the person found my damn phone number and started talking all this nonsense. But you know how I dealt with that? What do you know? I blocked his ass. Or her. Whoever. Because listen, man. When you're on a path to success, you just need to keep your head looking straight. Straight forward. Alright? Keep your mind off bullshit. Because people are just here to tear you down. Like, for instance, haters. Haters are really just there to add on to the fuel, low key. Even though that's not their mission, even though that's not what their mission, or even though that's not what they're intending to do, little do they know that's exactly what they're doing. Okay? That's why I tell brothers, man, just do you.
Shortly shortly after her transfer.
And do it with pride. Don't look for approval and validation from anybody else from somebody else 24/7. Okay?
A box in pink wrapping paper was found at the front door of the school. Inside was a Barbie doll, the throat slashed with a razor blade and covered with paint the color of blood. The dress was identical to one often worn by Joanne Chambers. The hair was cut and styled like Chambers as well.
I said goodbye to my husband like I wanted him to remember me saying goodbye. I lived every day.
Listen. The motherfucker that was doing this is a psycho. This is what you call an infatuation, or maybe, perhaps, should I say, a infatuation. The motherfucker, the broad that was doing this was clearly crazy about you. Probably wanted some of that coochie on the low. Like I said, who knows, man?
Thinking that it was truly possible that it could be my last.
In November of 1994, Chambers said a car tried to run her off the highway. She said she saw the face of the driver.
I go off the road. I look. She's looking right at me. I will never forget that look. Never. I will never forget it. She looked right at me.
She said the face she saw was a face she knew.
I mean, well, of course it was. All right. Now check this out. I'd be damned if it wasn't, of course.
Over 100.
Now watch this, brothers.
Learn more. When Joanne Chambers called police to report that a car forced her off the highway, she said she recognized the face of the other driver.
I saw her. She looked at me. I know that Paul and Rocky was driving the car.
Paula Noraki denied the allegation, but was arrested and charged with harassment, stalking, simple and aggravated assault, making terroristic threats, and recklessly endangering the life of Joanne Chambers. Over 100.
Hey, yeah. Aggravated assault my ass. This is more like attempted murder. I just tell it like it is.
Finding out that I was charged with many, many horrendous things I had never heard about before.
No, this ain't horrendous. It's the truth. It's just what it is. It's what you doing.
The school district suspended her from a teaching position.
Hey, hold up.
If convicted, she could serve 5 years in jail.
Fuck all that. Listen, most of these bras, man, they out here know what they doing. They'll try to kill another female over envious, jealous, like I said, and most of it is just like children shit, small shit. Or they'll try to kill their husband or their boyfriend, fiance, etc., own parents or whatever, things of that nature, just like a child. And then try to turn around, right back around and put on facades, acting like they ain't know what they doing. This bitch know damn well she knew what she was doing. I don't have no sympathy. Let's continue.
After Noraki's arrest, the letter
She look like a damn, looking like, hey, this bra like she could play Ratatouille's mom. Nah, my bad. More like Pinocchio. Cause your brothers notice every time she tells lies, her nose gets wider and thicker and thicker and longer. Cause I know this ain't this damn camera. Let's continue.
threats and pleadings to stop. Noraki maintained her innocence and hired both an attorney and private investigator to help. The investigator was a former state policeman, and even he admitted that Paula's situation did not look good.
My first thought was, well, she's probably guilty. It just looked overwhelming when you looked at
Obviously, basically what it means is that she was not smart. Which I totally agree.
the whole complaint.
She's trying to put on the facade to make like she's totally innocent, but she has all of the evidence right in front of her. It's like somebody catches you with a gun out, and you saying, "No, I ain't got no gun," and you got it right behind your back, and they didn't saw you, and you still trying to argue and deny. Well, why you still want to try to argue and deny for? You're just making things worse. Silly ass shit, man.
The FBI found some partial fingerprints on the threatening letters, but they did not match Paula nor Rocky's.
Allegedly.
The defense team wanted to see if any DNA was present on the threatening letters. The prosecutor would allow DNA testing by the defense only if the results were fully disclosed.
The hell going on here? Now, brothers, understand that says drowning hot. This bride cut her face out, put her on a stamp or a picture with a woman licking on the bottom of her ass, or a purse string, whatever. So that basically shows you that bride, and look, as you can see, got to make it like it's Miss Paula, and got her not Miss Paula, whatever this woman's name is again. I ain't fucking paying attention. They got got her hand on the lesbian or the little thought ass. So what was that woman basically telling you? She's a lesbian. I'm telling y'all, man.
Regardless of the outcome, Paula's defense team wanted to make sure she understood the ramifications of such an agreement.
He asked, would there be any possible reason that any of my DNA should be on any of it? Any possible
Absolutely.
whatsoever? And I said no.
Well, why you say no? Why you say no for? It's because you know that you're guilty. See, anybody who know that they ain't guilty won't sit up there and be back and back. See what I'm saying? Like I said last time, why you take a fucking lie detector test knowing that you was guilty in the first place? But now that they're asking for the ramifications, now you're sitting here screaming and talking about. Now that they're trying to pull pieces together and make it closer and even more further, while you trying to play smart, now you backing out now. So either way it goes, you're basically confirming once again. You're confirming through action, through body language, that you're guilty.
If we do this testing and your DNA is found on these stamps or envelope flaps, your chances, you're going to jail.
Nah, it's gonna be hell to pay.
Cost of the DNA testing, approximately $7,000, would have to be paid by Paula Noraki.
Damn. So basically, your ass going to jail broke.
Samples from both Paula and her husband were sent to a local DNA lab, along with the threatening letters and the envelopes.
The amount of DNA that we're going up in the back of the stamp or an envelope flap.
All she needed in the background is some Little Richard playing.
Depends on how hard you lift the envelope, how much cells that you shed from the inside of your mouth. There are variables that's hard to project exactly what the value would be, but it is there. In some cases, there's more DNA than others.
First, scientists use steam to gently remove the stamps from the envelopes. The back of each stamp and envelope flap was swabbed for epithelial cells, which come from saliva.
Exactly. So for the brothers who didn't know that's what he just said. Saliva.
DNA
Spit.
was found on the back of one set of stamps and on one envelope
Or should I say slob? But fuck it anyway.
flap. The number of cells recovered was so small that forensic scientists performed a process called polymerase chain reaction, or PCR, which amplifies or copies the DNA in those few cells to make enough for testing. This is the genetic profile of the individual who licked the stamps. When the DNA profile of Paula Noraki and her husband were compared to the DNA from the back of the stamps, There was no match.
I knew that. I knew that.
which meant that someone licked those stamps, and it wasn't Leonard Paul.
We thought it was going to blow apart the whole case. We thought we were done.
Now, armed with the DNA profile of the stalker, the manhunt had just begun.
You know, something is kind of fishy now. Man, I swear this shit gets me all the time, man. You know what I do believe? You know what I do believe? It's coming together. That blonde woman did this shit to herself. Watch this. Hey. Hey, brothers, y'all watch this.
When DNA testing in the stamps and envelope flap did not match Paula Noraki or her husband, the defense team went one step further. They wanted to find the individual whose DNA was on the threatening letters.
If Paula didn't do it, there's only one other person who could have done it. Because there's only one other person that knew the circumstances of all these letters, that knew everything that was going on, and it was Joanne Chambers.
Was it?
Exactly. She did it to herself. Once again, the woman is the agent of chaos. Shout out to Chronicles of Judah.
Possible that the alleged victim wrote the threatening letters and nailed them to herself?
And how the hell do you even put all that forth and time and energy to do that shit? You gotta be beyond wicked. I told you that bro was on something. I told y'all.
The defense uncovered some information which pointed in that very direction.
So basically, the morale of the story, back to the lesbian thing, like I was saying. Look, most of y'all bros be lesbians, man. And look, something else. Matter of fact, you wrote those to yourself because basically what you were doing, you wrote those things to yourself because that's what you are on the low. You are lesbian on the low. If you don't have AIDS, maybe you want AIDS.
Police in the neighboring town of Carbondale, Pennsylvania, told defense investigators that Chambers had a history of reporting suspicious incidents from burglaries to fires.
They say every crime that she's been a victim of has some weirdness attached to it.
So what that mean? That's a red flag. Meaning she's dramatic. She's the agent of chaos. She's a shit starter, man.
And just off the top of their heads, they started relating different crimes as
So yeah, go ahead and lock her ass up and put her in jail for false accusations.
supposedly she's been a victim of.
When Anderson researched Chambers' employment history, he learned that Chambers reported similar threatening letters and also reported finding feces on her classroom chair while in another school district years earlier.
So you left shit in a school chair? What the fuck is going on with that broad, man? I told you that broad was crazy. Oh well, I know what that sounds like. She's going back to her nature. Or their nature. I mean, well, y'all know.
To find out if it was
Oh, look back up there. You see that? That's
years.
the American flag. You notice that, bro? They have these in a lot of these Babylonian school systems. Okay? Most of these American public school systems, or the education system, is actually a proxy of the Babylonian school system. Okay? So is the indoctrinations, whitewashing, things of that nature. Brainwashing you. But we'll get into that very, very soon, somewhere deep on down the line. Let's keep watching this. This bitch was a suspect of her own crime, basically writing. What the fuck? That bitch need to be locked. She don't even need to go to prison or jail. She just need to be in a mental institute. That's what she need to be sent off at.
Earlier, to find out if it was Joanne Chambers' DNA on the threatening letters, Jim Anderson needed her DNA profile. For that, he looked in her trash. Once trash is placed at the curbside, the owner gives up all legal rights to what's inside. Plastic straws, used tissues, and a cotton swab with earwax. All items with possible genetic material were sent to the DNA lab for testing. Dr. Lichtenwallner identified two different DNA profiles from the mucus, saliva, and earwax samples from the Chambers trash.
The DNA from one of the household members was similar to the DNA on the back of the stamps in the envelope.
With these DNA results, the defense team demanded that all charges against Paula Noraki be dropped. The prosecution refused, and Joanne Chambers provided a blood sample for further DNA testing. Once again, Joanne Chambers' blood DNA matched the DNA.
That bitch did that to herself, man. How you put in all that energy and effort to be a suspect of your own crime? That bitch done.
And the envelope flap.
Well, I apologize to Pinocchio's mom. I'm sorry. You ain't Pinocchio's mom. You Ratatouille. I'm sorry.
You can see how all 5 genetic markers line up perfectly between the DNA of Joanne Chambers and the DNA from the back of the postage stamps.
The odds of someone in the random U.S. population having the same combination of 5 genotypes tested was 1 in 14,925.
The match was fairly significant.
Look, if I'm not mistaken, the genotype is basically like what you see right here. Right? If I'm not mistaken. But I know the phenotype, the genotype is telling you the genetic code of the cell. The phenotype is the physical appearance. Right? If I'm not mistaken. Well, I know the phenotype is the physical appearance of a cell. And like I said, this here is genotype is the genetic coding. But y'all can correct me if I'm wrong.
And that's a small community there, so it's unlikely that too many people are going to be walking around with a similar DNA pattern.
Despite the second DNA test, the prosecution refused once again to drop their case against Paula Noraki. During the trial, the prosecution presented the circumstantial evidence against Paula Noraki, including the coffee cup incident and the Colonel Klink reference in one of the threatening letters. For the defense, teachers from Joanne Chambers' former school district testified that she made similar claims of harassment.
That bitch even look crazy, man. Look at her eyes. Look at her face. Ew.
Earlier, but it was the DNA evidence that stunned most courtroom observers.
The DNA was definitely the bombshell. To hear that Joanne Chambers' saliva was found on the stamps of one of the threatening letters and the flap of another envelope, it was just unbelievable.
But on
No, it wasn't.
the witness stand, under oath, Joanne Chambers had an explanation. She said the prosecutor left her alone with the evidence, and the stamps fell off one of the envelopes. She said she lit the stamps to reattach them, and when that didn't work, used a glue stick. Dr. Lichtenwald
Should have used the glue stick for her damn lips for telling all them damn lies.
testified that she saw no glue stick residue on the stamps. lifelong stamp collector, she has it.
Damn, that bitch will lie about anything. Did you take a bath? Sure. You go in the bathroom. Don't smell like no soap in here. Or don't feel like, you know, the the humid in the bathtub. It doesn't feel like no bathtub has been turned on. I didn't even hear no water running. You turn back around, this bitch got all the clothes off, giving herself a cat bath. And then you turn around, honey, what the hell are you doing? I bathed. I'm nothing. I'm just taking care of myself. I'm just bathing. I'll just carry on, man.
Experience distinguishing glue stick residue from regular stamp adhesive.
I know gum from knowing stamps, and it looked to me just like the gum on recent U.S. stamps. And it's smooth and glistening, and it looked just like that. There was no outward evidence that a glue stick had been used.
The trial lasted 5 days, and it took the jury less than 2 hours to reach a verdict. They found Paula Noraki not guilty.
Reaction after the verdict was the most amazing thing I've ever seen. The alleged victim was being treated as the defendant, and the defendant was being treated as the victim. In the hallway, jurors sought out Paula Noraki and hugged her and told her how much they loved her, while Joanne Chambers left the courthouse virtually ignored.
Joanne Chambers denies that she created the campaign of threats against her.
How the hell you gonna do that? How you gonna do that? Your spit is on the damn... Look, whatever, man.
I could never, ever do this stuff to myself. I don't think that I could be functioning.
You can even tell that bitch... Look, this is a witch, man. Did you see her eyes? Look at her eyes. Did you see her eyes, bro? I know this video is long, but let me go back one more time to show you. Look at her eyes.
Functioning.
Look at the way she... What the wait, no, hold up. Look at the way she... Yo, look at the way she had to think about... You supposed to be a teacher. Bro, she had to think about what she had to say. And then just made that little jump. Like, you know, like something stung her ass or something. Look at it. You can tell this broad crazy.
This stuff to myself. I don't think that I could be functioning in a world as a parent, as a teacher, as a wife, if I were that sick to do that to myself.
I think Joanne Chambers did this. I think she has something Barbie doll. I think...
Yeah, I agree, brother. I definitely agree. Because, for one, like I stated, the bitch looks crazy. Evil. Mentally vindictive. Some shit like that, man. All her husband and kids, I feel sorry for them. Them teachers, them students, I feel sorry for them. Them principals, I feel sorry for them. So sad.
This was all on stage for Joanne.
I hope the lesson that people can learn from this is that you really are supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, and you aren't supposed to be guilty until proven innocent.
I've never seen anything like this.
I agree.
And if I cover cases for another 40 years, I think I'll give you that same answer still.
Better sue the school district. Well, looks like Miss Chambers got what she deserved. She had to give Miss Noraki some type of reparation or some type of reimbursement. Now, even though this ain't got nothing to do with pro-blacks, I bet you some of y'all right now still sit up and say, well, how come we ain't got none? Look, man, The morale of the story, man. That's why I don't fuck with all these feminist acts in the first place. Most of these brides, man, be the main ones. Well, what about the women? But they do all this old crazy shit. They go through all this drama. This right here just shows you she's the agent of chaos. It's particularly the modern liberal female, okay? She ain't got no sense. So you don't deal with her. If I was her husband, if I found out you did all this, you can have them kids. Well, I tell you what. I just get you a divorce. Gonna have to go. Alright though, man. Look, take it easy. Hope you learned something from this video. Comment, subscribe, share, like. Alright, peace.